And I'm getting attacked from the left, and we've given, since I've been in office 2.5 years, we've given the Democratic machine $15.7 million. We've given Republicans about 340,000, truth be told. So it's like, people say the Democratic Party is the party of the working people. They're bought and paid for by big tech, those big tech companies.
Yeah, tech is the new fossil fuel, man.
Right?
That's what I say.
Right, and you've got the Republicans who are now saying, hey, we want to be the working class party, right? And okay, you've got a great opportunity right now to do that. And the Democrats, if 60% of our members aren't supporting you, the system's broken.
So I certainly agree with him on that. And I've been kind of sad to see the reaction from the Democratic Party and Democratic voters in regard to the Teamsters members and how 60% of them, based on 2 separate polls, indicates that they support Trump over Kamala Harris. Now, I can understand if you think that makes no sense, if you think that's ridiculous, but I think the Democratic Party needs to try to figure out, why do these Teamsters members feel this way? But instead, they're upset, and a lot of the criticisms I've seen have kind of focused on the belief that these Teamsters members are supporting Trump because they prefer bigotry over real gains for workers. I disagree with that take entirely.
Sean O'Brien is angry. The Teamsters president, a man used to fighting for his workers, has turned his fire on the Democratic Party. He accuses them of a cardinal sin, abandoning the working class. O'Brien's fury echoes a growing sentiment among blue-collar Americans. They feel betrayed, ignored, and left behind by the party that once championed their cause. This is the story of a political earthquake, a seismic shift that could reshape America's political landscape for years to come. For decades, the relationship between the Teamsters and the Democrats was ironclad. The union, representing millions of truck drivers, warehouse workers, and other essential laborers, poured money and manpower into Democratic campaigns. They canvassed, they rallied, they voted blue. In return, Democrats promised to protect American jobs, fight for fair wages, and stand up for the little guy. It was a partnership built on shared values and mutual benefit. But somewhere along the way, the bond began to fray. O'Brien argues that Democrats have become beholden to a new breed of elites, Silicon Valley billionaires, Wall Street titans, and global corporations. These powerful interests, he claims, have hijacked the Democratic agenda, pushing policies that benefit the wealthy at the expense of the working class. Free trade deals shipped jobs overseas. Environmental regulations crippled industries. Open borders flooded the labor market. With each broken promise, the trust between the Teamsters and the Democrats eroded a little more. The depth of the disillusionment became clear in 2016. Donald Trump, a billionaire businessman, improbably emerged as the champion of the working class. He promised to bring back jobs, renegotiate trade deals, and put America first. His message resonated with Teamsters members, many of whom felt abandoned by the Democrats. Internal polling revealed a stunning statistic. A majority of Teamsters favored Trump over Hillary Clinton. The blue wall was crumbling and the Democrats seemed oblivious. A bridge too far, O'Brien courts the Republicans. O'Brien's anger boiled over in 2020. He took the unprecedented step of addressing the Republican National Convention. Standing before a national audience, he accused the Democrats of taking union support for granted. He blasted their policies as harmful to working families, and he signaled a willingness to work with anyone, regardless of party, who would fight for his members. The message was clear. The Teamsters were done being taken for granted. No more blank checks. Teamsters withhold endorsement. The break with the Democrats became official in 2024. For the first time in decades, the Teamsters Union declined to endorse the Democratic nominee for president. O'Brien argued that neither party deserved their automatic support. The union would judge candidates based on their policies, not their party affiliation. The era of blind loyalty was over. The Teamsters were charting their own course. A wake-up call. Democrats on the defensive. The recent events have left the Democratic Party in a state of introspection and uncertainty. The once solid ground they stood on now feels shaky. as they face a series of challenges that could redefine their future. The Teamsters' revolt sent shockwaves through the Democratic Party. This wasn't just a minor disagreement, it was a full-blown rebellion from a group that had been a cornerstone of their support base for decades. The passionate speeches and fervent rallying cries from the union members highlighted a deep-seated frustration that had been brewing for years. Here was a powerful and loyal ally turning its back on them. The shock was palpable among the Democratic leaders, who had always counted on the unwavering support of the Teamsters. The unexpected news left them scrambling to understand the root causes of this discontent and to find ways to mend the fractured relationship. Could they afford to alienate other working-class voters? The question loomed large as they considered the broader implications of the revolt. The working-class voters, who had been the backbone of their electoral success, were now feeling neglected and unheard. The party's policies and priorities were being called into question, and the risk of further alienation was real. Some Democrats dismissed O'Brien as an outlier, a relic of a bygone era. They believed that his views were not representative of the broader union membership and that the party's core values would ultimately prevail. However, this dismissal only served to deepen the divide, as it ignored the legitimate concerns of a significant portion of their base. Others worried that he represented a deeper trend, a harbinger of a working-class exodus from the party. The strategists were deeply concerned that this revolt was not an isolated incident but rather a symptom of a larger issue. The fear of a mass exodus of working-class voters was real, and it prompted urgent discussions on how to address the growing discontent. The Democrats were at a crossroads. The path they chose now would determine their future. Would they double down on their current policies, risking further alienation, or would they pivot to address the concerns of their working-class base? The decisions made in these heated discussions would have far-reaching consequences for the party's identity and electoral prospects. Would they listen to the concerns of working families or continue down the path of elitism and globalism? The debate was not just about policies but about the very soul of the party. The working-class families, who had long felt the brunt of economic and social changes, were demanding a voice. The choice was clear: listen and adapt, or risk becoming irrelevant in the eyes of those who had once been their staunchest supporters. The future of labor, navigating a divided landscape. The Teamsters' story reflects a broader trend in American politics, the fracturing of traditional coalitions. The working class is no longer a monolithic bloc. Cultural issues, identity politics, and economic anxiety have created deep divisions. Labor unions, once a bastion of democratic support, now find themselves navigating a complex and polarized landscape. To survive, they must adapt, build new alliances, and find common ground with those who share their economic interests. United, we stand Teamsters' commitment to workers. Despite the political turmoil, one thing remains constant: the Teamsters' unwavering commitment to fighting for their members. O'Brien has vowed to hold all politicians accountable, regardless of party. He is demanding action on issues like trade, infrastructure, and healthcare. The message is clear: the Teamsters are not going away. They will continue to be a powerful voice for working families no matter who is in the White House. A new era, the shifting sands of political power. The landscape of political influence is undergoing a seismic shift, one that is reshaping the very foundation of our democracy. The Teamsters' rebellion is a sign of the times. This movement is not just about labor rights. It's a reflection of a broader discontent that is sweeping across the nation. The old rules of politics are breaking down, traditional power structures are being challenged, and the voices of the people are growing louder and more insistent. Voters are no longer content with empty promises and partisan gridlock. They are demanding results. The electorate is more informed and engaged than ever before, and they are holding their leaders accountable. The parties that can deliver for working families, those that can truly connect with the everyday struggles of their constituents, that can address their economic anxieties, and provide tangible solutions to the issues that matter most, and offer them a path to a better future, will be the ones that thrive in this new era. The political landscape is no longer a static field, it is a dynamic and ever-changing environment. The Teamsters are watching. They are not just passive observers, they are active participants in this transformation, and they are prepared to fight for their future. This is a pivotal moment in history, where the power truly lies in the hands of the people. The question is, Who will rise to the occasion and lead us into this new era of political power? The fight goes on. Labor's enduring struggle. For generations, workers have taken to the streets, demanding fair wages, safe working conditions, and respect. These protests are not just moments in history, they are the lifeblood of a movement that continues to this day. The struggle between labor and capital is as old as America itself. From the sweatshops of the early 1900s to the high-tech offices of today, the battle for workers' rights has been a constant. Each era brings new challenges, but the core issue remains the same: the fight for dignity and fairness in the workplace. From the factories of the Industrial Revolution to the gig economy of the 21st century, workers have fought for their fair share of the American dream. The Industrial Revolution saw workers toiling in dangerous conditions for meager pay, while today's gig economy often leaves workers without benefits or job security. Yet in every generation, workers have risen to demand better. The Teamsters Union has been on the front lines of that fight for over a century. Founded in 1903, the Teamsters have been a powerful voice for workers, advocating for better wages, safer working conditions, and stronger labor laws. Their history is rich with stories of courage and resilience. Their story is a reminder that the fight for economic justice is never truly over. Each victory is hard-won, and each setback is a call to action. The celebrations of today are built on the struggles of yesterday, and the battles of tomorrow will be fought with the same determination. It is a fight that demands constant vigilance, unwavering solidarity, and a willingness to challenge the powerful. The Teamsters are ready. They know that unity is their strength, and that by standing together, they can achieve what seems impossible. Their meetings are not just gatherings, they are the planning grounds for the next steps in their ongoing struggle. The question is America? Will the nation stand with its workers, or will it allow the forces of capital to dictate the terms? The future of labor in America depends on the choices we make today. Will we honor the legacy of those who fought before us, or will we let their sacrifices be in vain? The answer lies in our collective hands.